Hey. So I did a vlog in the middle of the week on Wednesday, which was day 3 of my hell week of sparring with Dokmaibaa, who we brought down from Bangkok. She's a female fighter, champion, absolutely amazing. And with Yodkhunpon Sitraipum, who's the elbow hunter of 100 Stitches, who's from the golden age of Muay Thai. He was champion of both Lumpini and Rajadamnern, which is insane. So I've been sparring with both of them for 6 days. Usually I'm sparring with Yodkhunpon in the morning, and then I have maybe like 3 rounds with Nan in the afternoons, who's not too much bigger than me, weight-wise, but body-wise is small. So we checked in on day 3 of my hell week with Yodkhunpon and Dokmaibaa, and it was hard. It was very, very hard work. Today is day 6. Dokmaibaa and her girlfriend actually just checked out and left. They're going up to Roy Et. It's a big Buddhist holiday weekend, so they're going up there to Tambun, is to make merit. Oh, it was a very, very hard week. Physically, it's hard, but emotionally, it's really, really hard. So I'm kind of in a weird spot. So the things that are difficult about this are many, but like something that kind of like jumped out at me about this is that like I already know as much technique as I'm ever gonna know. It's in my head, it's in my heart, it's just not in my body yet. So it's this like acclimation of just getting it to actually come out. You have to have courage in front of someone who's much bigger than you, and you have to have courage in front of someone who's much better than you. You have to stay close, you have to feel confidence in your ability to defend yourself. Like all of these things are not things that you can just like make up and do. Like you actually need to spend time in those pressures and in that space in order to be able to do it. I found out today that Dokmaibaa is actually bigger than I thought she was. So I'm currently walking around at like 48, which is actually pretty big for me. She's 64 kilos. I thought that she was maybe like edging on 60, but she's 64. So there's a significant weight difference between the two of us, and she's taller. So I'm happy to be able to like feel that the things that I was able to grow in and be able to do with her by the end of training, or by the end of the week, that I really was not able to do at the start. Like if you put video from our first 2 days next to video even from like the last 2 sessions that we did together, you would not think that was within 1 week. It's incredible change in that time. And then it's one of these things where like I was laughing to Kevin. I was like, if I did something really well with Yodkhunpon and then I would go with Dokmaibaa, it like wouldn't match. Or I'd do really well with Dokmaibaa and then just like die against Yodkhunpon. And there's no way of knowing which way it's gonna go, but it's like if you got upset that you're like, I cooked that steak perfectly, how come I can't cook this lobster? And it's like, because they're not the same thing. But I've been thinking a lot today. I really, really struggled at the very end of my rounds with Yodkhunpon today. He was putting a lot of pressure on me. And Kevin was all thumbs up and high fives. Like he thought it was all amazing, just being able to like survive it basically. I got into a very like emotionally shaky place. I was actually like cry breathing. I wasn't actually crying, but I was doing that like when I got out of the ring. But I recovered because I'm great. But I was thinking to myself that one of the biggest lessons that I'm learning over and over again in this process of whatever it is that I'm doing here in my life and trying to gain this freedom in Muay Thai is that I don't know if it's being American or Western or just the way that I was raised or if the world is like this. I don't know. But I feel like I have this like flawed belief in credit, that I should get credit for something. And I like intellectually and morally don't believe in credit. Like I've talked about this, about like if you become champion, you don't get to just put your belt on the wall and take credit for it the rest of your life. Like it's an active state. So if I had a really good day the day before, I don't get credit for that the next day. I have to do it again the next day. It's nice that if I did something well the day before and I like shit the bed the next day, I can be like, okay, well yesterday wasn't like this, so clearly this is not like an indication of who I am as a person in a global sense. And vice versa, if yesterday you weren't good and today you're good, you don't have to like have the stain of yesterday on you in the same way that you don't take credit and carry it with you, like, to the next day or to the next session or something. So my problem is that I want credit. Like, I want to be given credit for things that I did well. I want to be given credit for having been awesome the day before, and then have that, like, kind of be a continuing state, even though I'm not earning it again. You have to earn it again. Like, you have to earn it all the time. It's like, you can't be like, I ate yesterday, so I shouldn't be hungry today. Like, your body actually metabolizes all the time. Like, it's alive, so it's still staying alive. That's what greatness is, too. That's what balance is. That's what stability is. That's what, I'm losing my English, but in Thai they call it ben. It means, like, being capable. Your capacity to do something is not a, like, continuous state unless you're continuously doing it. It's not like I did it well yesterday and so I don't have to do it today and I'll just ride that. Like, I beat that girl and I never fight her again, therefore I'm better than her forever. Like, that's not really how it works. So my struggle, which is maybe simultaneously intellectual and moral, is that I don't want to want credit, but I want credit. And so I'm, like, constantly struggling with that. But I'm taking the afternoon off. I just went and got a massage. I have a lot of painful areas in my body. I got a question on Instagram about, if I'm doing 18 rounds a day, how do I stay injury-free? There's a couple of ways to answer that. The most truthful is what people mean when they say the word injury when they ask that question. I have not been uninjured in 8 years. So I don't remain injury-free doing 18 rounds a day. I always have something, no matter what. I fight with it. I train with it. It's all the time. It never, ever, ever stops. The longer version of that is that there's a difference between injured and hurt. Injury means that you have to work around something or stop doing something. Like, you actually have to take something off the table in order to let it heal. And I get very few of those. I'm hurt. I have a lot of hurt things going on. And those don't require you to necessarily, like, lay off it or change your training to a great degree. If you, like, kick an elbow and your foot's all swollen, maybe don't kick on the right side so much. But that's riding the line between injury and hurt. So I hurt a lot, but I'm not injured very often. I've had very, very few injuries in my entire career, like broken hand, broken foot, broken nose, stitches, that kind of thing. Things that force you to kind of, like, work around them. Those are injuries. Concussion, that's an injury. You have to not only work around but rest. Other than that, it's just hurting. So I'm resting today and trying to not take credit as the, like, okay, I can rest because I'm resting because I'm taking credit. No, I'm resting because I worked really hard and there are some things that I need to rest up, like my brain, my mind, my heart, my confidence, my body, in order to be able to come back and be strong again, because, again, it's a continuous state. It's not a, like, stamp that you get to, like, live with forever. So that's my update. This is the spirit house behind me of my apartment building. It's for the entire building. It's pretty cool. So anytime I go somewhere or come back from somewhere, I'm always lying to this spirit house to give me protection on my journeys, and when I come back, being like, hey, I'm going to be here again. So that's that. It's very breezy and nice. I'm sorry if you guys are getting a lot of wind. I'll have to check this before I post it, but it feels nice. Talk to you later.